Mark Halle, one REIT you like in the Prudential Global Real Estate Fund is Hudson Pacific. Now this REIT is up around 16% so far this year. They're big in California, Northern California, Southern California. So why do you think this play on the Golden State is going to go higher in the second half of 2016?
Sure, thanks, Greg. Great company, good assets. They really cater to the technology and telecom market in those areas. They're in LA, Seattle, and San Francisco. Very good, well-seasoned management team, excellent balance sheet. And really what you're buying today is you're buying embedded growth in the portfolio. 90% leased, rents way below market. As these rents roll, you're going to see big upticks, 10, 15% upticks at least in their rental portfolio. So we like the company, like the stock. As you're buying companies, and we've spoken before, is that we're looking for long-term plays. If you're buying for this quarter's earnings, in real estate, it's a fool's errand. You want to buy and look for long-term growth in a lot of these companies. And they have great assets catering to great growth markets.
And you like general growth properties, speaking of growth. Now this REIT is up 16% so far this year. They're big in malls, but people are worried about the malls. Why do you want to own general growth in that environment?
Sure, and we're also worried about generic malls. There's A, B, and C malls. General Growth owns a stellar portfolio of A-quality malls. It's the largest pure play in domestic malls. They don't have any international exposure. So with the strength of the dollar, we expect to see some down sales in some of the tourist-type markets. Good assets, good markets. They've done an excellent job taking back space from some of the big anchors. As you probably know, anchors are, they cut a great deal when they come into a center. They're the anchor of that center, but they typically are paying between $1 and $4 a foot. General Growth has been taking back those assets, taking back space from some of the big department stores, and then releasing those for $50, $60, $70 a foot. So great embedded growth within the portfolio.
And speaking of shopping, you like Federal Realty. This REIT's up around 13% this year. People are worried about shopping. Why do you want to be owning Federal Realty?
Federal does, on the other side of the spectrum, does outdoor, urban, mixed-use development. So some residential and multifamily apartments and retail. And they're really hitting the sweet spot of what retailers want, whether it's furniture, athletic, leisure. They're getting great foot traffic. You're getting a portfolio which has 3 years of embedded growth. You're buying today for the next 3 years of projects which are coming online, which are virtually not reflected in the stock price today. So you've got embedded growth where you don't see that in a lot of the market. Good retail traffic, good retail sales, excellent balance sheet, excellent management team.
All right, the final one, Sun Communities. Now they're in manufactured housing communities, mostly in the South, the Midwest, the Southwest. They're not on the coast. This REIT's up around 13% this year. It's certainly off a lot of people's radars. Tell me about Sun Communities.
We like the manufactured housing sector, very much too with the same story that we saw with storage a few years ago. It's really not an institutional sector, but will become one over time, we believe, in that these are real estate plays where the community builds the infrastructure, the roads, the land, the electric. It's really catering to a demographic of aging baby boomers, 55 plus, in the Sun Belt markets. When people buy into these communities, you buy your own home, you have it brought in and put on the land. So you buy a home for around $80,000, and then you get charged rent of about $480 to $500 a month for your apartment. As the baby boomers age, this is a great place to be. Average tenure of people on these sites is about 13 years. You can't pick up your home and move it easily. It costs about $10,000 to move those homes. So people stay and they have great rental growth. So it's long-term bond-like income with embedded growth and growth in the market. And we think that's a perfect place to be in the market going forward because there's not a lot of growth stories out there.
All right, well, thanks a lot, Mark.
Thanks, Greg. Good to see you.
And thank you for watching The Street.